At the heart of this dispute are concerns that depending on the speed at which the dam is filled by Ethiopia, countries like Sudan and Egypt, which are downstream on the Blue Nile River, will be negatively affected by decreased water supply.
While we recognize the importance of this project to the developmental objectives of the Ethiopian people, a goal that we certainly share and support, it is essential to realize that this megadam, which is Africa's largest hydropower facility, potentially threatens the welfare, the well-being, and the existence of millions of Egyptians and Sudanese citizens. Therefore, the unilateral filling and operation of this dam, without an agreement that includes the necessary precautions to protect the downstream communities and to prevent the infliction of significant harm on their riparian rights, would heighten tensions and could provoke crises and conflicts that further destabilize an already troubled region.
Ethiopia and Sudan welcomed the intervention of the Bureau of the AU Assembly convened by President Cyril Ramaphosa on June 26th that has engaged the three parties ahead of a technical report that will be discussed when the parties reconvene in 2 weeks. But Addis Ababa expressed dismay that the issue was now before the Security Council.
Let me be clear that Ethiopia doesn't believe the issue being discussed today has a legitimate place in the Security Council. It is bound to set a bad precedent and open a Pandora box. This council should not be a forum for exerting diplomatic pressure. As we have informed the Council, the tripartite negotiation between Ethiopia, Egypt, and the Sudan has not yet been concluded. The three countries have in fact reached consensus on most of the prominent technical issues in the last rounds of the negotiation. That's why Ethiopia is of the view that progress at hand and a mutually beneficial agreement is within reach.
Through our engagement as a facilitator in
the United States, which has played a mediation role, acknowledged the AU-led efforts, but warned that the window to achieve an agreement was closing. South Africa urged the Council to allow continental-led efforts the space it requires.
The Bureau of the African Union Assembly and participating heads of state and government and the observers concerned and the countries have requested United Nations Security Council just to take note of these developments and the fact that the African Union is fully seized with this matter that is of concern to the African continent. It is therefore important that the Security Council respect the African Union and our continent efforts and provide space for the parties through the agreed upon mechanism in the last Bureau meeting to find a solution that will ensure a peaceful and prosperous future for these three neighborly and sisterly countries in the African continent.
As pressure builds on the Bureau of the AU Assembly led by South Africa, along with the presidents of the DRC, Kenya, Mali and the AU Commission Chair, to reach an agreement with the three states concerned. Shervin Bricepies, SABC News, New York.